Okay, yo yakam jirtu dhuftanii tuyaan bafa yaakisanii har'ammoo qormaatawan moodeelaa kutaa 12ffaa waliin hojjenna. Kanaaf gaaffiiwwan dhibba keessaa bakka paartii afuritti qoonnee gaaffii 25 ilaalla waan ta'eef har'a paartii waanii gaaffiiwwan tokko hanga 25 jiran tokko ilaalla. So choose the best answer from the given alternatives. Question number 1. Which of the following historical source is secondary source? You know in history there are two types of sources, primary source and the secondary sources. So from the following alternatives, which one of the following is secondary source? A. Novels, B. Inscriptions, C. Chronicles, D. Diaries. So which one is primary and secondary source? Secondary source, when you say second-hand information in history, A is a secondary source. Question number 2. Why is the foreign merchant used the purpose of Eritrean Sea in their frequent travel across Red Sea? Because the document, as now in Ethiopian history, we have two documents regarding the Aksumite period. The first one, the purpose of Eritrean Sea, especially this one is used as reference during the 1st century AD. So merchants who came to around the Red Sea or port of Adulis used the document which called the purpose of Eritrean Sea during the 1st century AD. Again, after that, the second document about Aksum written document was called Christian topography. So why the merchants used the first document which called the purpose of Eritrean Sea in their frequent travel across the Red Sea? Because the document had about Red Sea port types and sources of trade items. B, document mentioned Aksum as trade to the merchant in the East Africa. C, mentioned King Zoskales of Aksum frequently speak Greek language. D, reveals Aksumite foreign trading partners of Asia and Europe. So why the merchants use this document? This document especially had accounts about rare sea ports, types and the source trade items. And this because of this used as trade manual for merchants. One of the first document from the two documents can have in Kenya Eta. Why the merchants use this document? Because the document had accounts about trade supports, types and the sources of trade items. Kanafi achirratti documentin kun manualin kun maal agarsiisa? Portiiwwan Red Sea gubbaa Galaana Diimaa gubbaatti argaman formationii kenna. Again, gosa daldalaa fi bakka inni argamuuf waan kennuuf waan ta'eef this used as manual by the merchants who came to around the Red Sea coast during the 1st century AD. Documentum kan biraa maal jedha? The document mention about the King Zoskales of the King of Aksum frequently speak Greek language. That is already ready through. Kanaaf why they used deebiin keenya eeta. Question number 3. What were the roles of Orthodox Church of Aksum and the Dabra Damo in the restoration of the Solomonic dynasty? As known, after the end of the Zagwe dynasty, new dynasty restored in Ethiopia in 1270. That dynasty was called a Solomonic dynasty. So, what were the roles of the Orthodox Church of Aksum and the Dabra Damo in restoration of the Solomonic dynasty? A. Admired Zagwe kings for building world class monolithic churches. That means Church of Lalibala. One can ijaaraniif isaan ajaa'ibsiifatan yookiin isaan sirriitti appreciate godhan jedha. No, the churches of Dabra Damo and Aksum was their role in that restoration of Solomonic dynasty. They did not admire the Zagwe kings for building world class monolithic church. That means Church of Lalibala. Jechuu barbaadeera. B. Coordinated the political succession problems in the Zagwe dynasty. Kanaaf succession problem kana coordinate gochaa turan jedha. No. C. Spread the anti-Zagwe propaganda in relation with the legend of Queen Sheba. D. Stay moderate in political competition between Agaw and Amara elites. Kanaaf diin immoo maal jedha jarreen kun moderate yookiin immoo giddu galeessa ta'anii jarreen kana yookiin ilaalan jedha. No, especially in this case, the role of the churches, clergy of the Dabra Damo and the Aksum churches during that period, they spread anti-Zagwe propaganda based on legend of Queen Sheba. Because of this, our answer is C. Question number 4. The period from 500 to 1000 AD in Europe referred as A. Late medieval period, B. Early modern period, C. Feudal period, the Dark Age. As now Ethiopian history from 500 up to 1500 AD, known as Middle Age in European history. From that one, the first part of European history, from 500 up to 1000 AD, known as in European history, it is called the Dark Age. Kanaaf deebiin keenya maalta bara 500 hanga 1000 seenaa Awurooppaa agartanii kun maal jedhama? Dark Age. What is Dark Age mean? Absence of civilization, the decline of Greco-Roman civilization because of invention from different tribes, especially from the Germany. Because of this, in European history, the period from 500 up to 1000 AD called or referred as what? Dark Age. Kanaaf deebiin keenya diita. Again, question number 5. When the Mamluk did control full political power in Egypt? As known, in Egyptian history, Egypt was ruled by the Mamluks from 1250 up to 1570. As a result, when the Mamluks did control full political power in Egypt, that means before that, they were served as the soldiers for the dynasty which called OEB dynasty. Because of this, after that they came to power by using coup d'etat, or especially by controlling power by using their position, especially they were soldiers or military forces. Because of this, when the Mamluks did control full political power in Egypt, A, in 1150 AD, B, in 1570 AD, C, in 1250 AD, D, in 1805 AD. So the Mamluks came to power and ruled Egypt from 1250 up to 1517. 1215 mean when they came to power, and 1517 mean when Mamluk defeated by Ottoman Turkey. Again, from 1517 up to 1850 until the rise of Muhammad Ali in 1805, Egypt was ruled under Mamluk, that mean Ottoman Turkey. So the actual power of Egypt, Mamluk mean from 1250 up to 1570. Kind of deebiin keenya siidha. Again, question number 6, which statement based to describe long-term impact of Oromo population movement and expansion on the social and the political landscape of the Horn of Africa. So which statement based to describe? San armaan gadii keessa statement yookiin immoo himni sirriitti waa'ee warraaqsa uummata Oromoo sirriitti ibsu kamidha. So which statement based to describe long-term impact? Kanaaf dhiibbaa yookiin immoo bu'aa yeroo dheeraa kan Oromo population movement maayinidha. A, it leads to domination of homogeneous culture of Oromo. No. B, existing social and political structure remain intact. That means seen Ethiopia get social and political structuring akkuma duriitu feeda without change. Kanaaf kunis deebii ta'uu danda'u. C, it caused the eradication of the indigenous Oromo social structure. Keessa social structuring yookiin immoo Oromoon aadaan ganamaan qabu kun akka inni eradicate yookiin akka dhabaduuf gahee guddaa taphateedha. D, it resulted in ethnic intermingling and formation of new political alliance. So it led to ethnic intermingling and the formation of new political alliance in Ethiopia. Kanaaf deebiin keenya D ta'a. Amma moodela kutaa 12ffaa kan bara 2017 hojjechaa jirra waan ta'eef YouTube hambaa gubbaatti viidiyoo kana hoo jaalattan yoo isinii tole subscribe, share, comment gochuun dagatina. Gaaffii itti fufna. Kanaaf question number 7, how Kafa could maintain its political independence until 1897. Isaayyuu mootummaan Kafa bara 1897 1897 the last king of Kafa Tatoga Kisaricho defeated by the force of Emperor Menelik II. Ethiopian history Kafa was never mentioned in the document of the Christian Highland Kingdom of Ethiopia. Kafa was independent state in Ethiopian history until 1897. So how Kafa could maintain its political independence until 1897? A, its political strength and the defensive system. B, by using its watchtower mechanism. D, it is distance from the Shawan Kingdom. D, it is strong foreign diplomacy. So what is the main reason for the independence of Kafa until the end of the 19th century? Because of what? Our answer is A, this political strength and the defense system. Keessa warri Kafa daangaa eeguudhaan kan isaan beekaman, lammaffaa immoo digging trench mishii qotuudhaan beekamu waan ta'eef internal political strength structure mataa isaanii qabu waan ta'eef deebiinsaa ta'a. Question number 8. Why Christian kings declared closed door policy to Europeans in the 17th century? Keessayyuu after 1630s, Fasilides declared closed door policy after expelling the Catholic missionaries from Ethiopia. Keessayyuu erga Suusinoo Saangoo gallakkiseen booddeetti aangootti kan dhufe ilma isaa Fasilidesidha. Fasilides kun immoo inni aangootti dhufeen booddeetti immediately restored the Orthodox faith into its formal position. The second major which taken by Fasilides also what? He expelled the Catholic missionaries out of Ethiopia. Lammaffaarratti maal godhe ergamoota Orthodox bakkatti deebiseen booddeetti Itoophiyaa keessaa Catholic missionary ni baase. Kanaan booddeetti closed door policy, the third measure of a person called Fasilides. So why Christian kings declared the closed door policy to the Europeans in the 17th century? To use potential of Eastern Muslim community for control of the route. Keessa gargaarsa mootummoota musliimaa Eastern Muslim community kan jedhaman fayyadamuuf jedha. No, as Islamic religion is better than the Catholic Christianity. Amantiin Islaamaa amantii Catholic caala sirriitti gaariidha waan ta'eef jedha. C. To convince local Christian community of his anti-Catholic position. D. To entirely cut off Christian kingdom from European friendship. So, what's the main reason why the Christian kings, including Fasilides, adopt closed door policy toward these Europeans? Because to convince the Christian community of his anti-Catholic position. Keessayyuu abbaan isaa anti-Catholic waan jijjiirame Suusiniyoos lola guddaa kee waan ta'eef isaan kana amma tokko amansiisuuf yookiin immoo ofitti qabuuf jecha waan ta'eef deebiin keenya sii ta'a. Question number 9. Which ancient state of West Africa emerged at the present day Mali and Mauritania? Kanaaf naannoo Mauritania ammaadhaa fi naannoo Maliitti mootummaan West Africa itti hundeeffame kamidha? Ghana, B. Almoravid, C. Hausa City, D. Fungi. Fungi mean keessayyuu around Sudan. Kanaaf naannaa lafa Ghana lafa Mali ammaadhaa fi Mauritania yennu Mauritania keessatti kan hundeeffame kam jechuudha? Ghanaadha deebiinsa waan ta'eef deebiin keenya ta'a. Question number 10. Which of the following African states wrongly matched with state founding prominent individuals? Stateota amman gadii keessaa bulchoota isaanii faana kan walitti karaa dogongoraatiin walitti hidhame kam jedha? Songhai, Sunni Ali also the founder or the leader of Songhai. That's right. Kanian Bornu, Askia Muhammad. Almoravid Ibn Yasin, Mali Sandiata eda Sundiata jechuu barbaadeetu waan ta'eef kanaaf which of the following African state wrongly matched with the state of founding prominent individuals? Songhai leaders, two important leaders in Songhai. Sunni Ali after that Askia Muhammad. Kanaaf Askia Muhammad if Sunni Ali kuni kawra Songhai tu waan ta'eef Kanian Bornu wrongly matched with this leader, a person called Sunni Askia Muhammadin, who also the leader of Songhai. Kanaaf Kanian Bornu dogongorani. Question number 11. Which statement based evaluate the positive and negative effect of industrial revolution? You know, industrial revolution also one of great event in the history of in the world history. So what is the negative and the positive effect of industrial revolution? Maal gaafatamma bu'aa gaariidhaa fi miidhaa isaati. Positive effect and the negative effect jechuudha. So it only brought benefits such as job creation and economic growth. This indicate positive outcome of industrial revolution. That question is about positive and the negative effects of industrial revolution. So it only brought benefit such as job creation and economic growth. It led to both economic progress and some social problems. See, it was entirely created suffering to the people. See, it indicate negative, only negative. It has no significant impact for society. Bu'aa kamiyyuu hin qabuudha. Kana which one is from these alternatives? Which one is both positive and the negative effects of industrial revolution? A, B, it led to economic progress and some social problems. The main outcome of industrial positive and the negative outcome of industrial revolution. Kanaaf deebiinsaa B ta'a. Question number 12. If you were an industrial worker in the 19th century, what reform you propose to improve working conditions? Condition A, creation of stronger labor union. increasing factory working hours. C, removal of all government regulations, the reduction of industrial production. So if you were an industrial worker in the 19th century, what reform you propose to improve working condition? Kanaaf yoo ati hojjeta warshaa taate jaarraa kuusaa salgaffaa keessatti rakkoowwan hojii naannoo warshaa jedhu kana furuudhaaf maal hojjettaadha? A, creation of stronger labor union. Kanaaf labor union yookiin immoo gamtaa hojjettootaa hundeessuudha jedha. B, increasing factory working hours. Kun rakkicha ammeessuudhattu. Kanaaf sa'aatii hojii warshaa keessaa dabaluu jedha. C, removal of all government regulations. Ajaja yookiin immoo kan mootummaa biraa dhufu kamiyyuu haquudha yookiin immoo balleessuudha. Reduction of industrial production. Amma oomisha gadi buusuudha. Kanaaf maal gochuu qabna? Industrial worker yoo taate that mean creation of stronger labor union. Kanaaf deebiin keenya eeta. Question number 13. Which of the following best explain how the study of history contribute to individual and social development? Kanaaf barnoonni history nama dhuunfaafis social development hawaasummaadhaafis gahee inni qabu maalidha? Which of the following best explain how the study of history contributes to the individual and social development? A, it helps communities to avoid conflicts by forgetting past grievances. Manni yookiin mufannaa isaa bira duriitti achumatti dhiisuun ifama waliif gochuudha jedha. This is not purpose of history. It gives historians exclusive access to ancient knowledge. Kun warra seenaa qorataniif historiansiidhaaf beekumsa duratti kana kennuufidha jedha. But we learn from the past. But exclusive access to ancient world knows the purpose of history. C, it provides fixed identities for people based on their cultural background enabled. Namundaaf you fixed identity wal fakkaata kennuudha jedha. D, it gives broad insight on human behavior, society and decision making. This means purpose of history. Faayidaan history ni guddaan namni insight human behavior, society and decision making ability akka guddatuuf waan ta'eef deebiin keenya diidha ta'a. Question number 14. What is equality that made history science? History is the science. How we can say history is science? So what is the quality that make history the science? A, it is a study of past human activity. B, it is main focus on investigation of facts done in the past. C, it is methodology to reconstruct historical document. D, it is attained through scientific experimental results, especially is not now in history. Kanaaf history science kan godhuma inni biology is a science, history is a science, physics is a science. What makes that a science? Because each discipline or subject matters. It is subject matter. History has our methodology. Because of the methodology mean what makes history a science. So what methodology to reconstruct history, historical document kan deebiin keenya sita. Question number 15. Which of the following Australopithecus species found in Kenya? Kenya keessatti kan argame kamidha? Australopithecus gosa torbatu jira. Torban sana keessa kampame Kenyaatti argamedha. A, Australopithecus afarensis. This one is in Ethiopia, especially in Afar region as a place called Hadar in 1974. Kanaaf Australopithecus afarensis Lucy or dinqina ishee jedhamtudha. Kun waan ta'eef Afaritti kan argamte. Australopithecus anamensis, Australopithecus bargazeli, Australopithecus africanus. Isaan kun Central Africaatti argame kuni, Kensiin Central Africa, kun immoo naannoo South Africaatti waan ta'eef kanaaf Kenyaatti kan argame Australopithecus anamensisidha. Anamensis kanaaf deebiin keenya biidha. Question number 16. How do you evaluate Egypt is the gift of Nile River? Especially this one is the term used by Herodotus. Namni jalqaba Egyptiin dubbate Herodotus is the Greek historian called Egypt is the gift of Nile River. What's the reason? So how do you evaluate Egypt is the gift of Nile River? Egyptians were known in irrigation canal. What Egyptianota kun irrigation yookiin immoo jallisiidhaan beekamudha. No, Egypt is the earliest world civilization. Egypt is the earliest world civilization. Egypt qaroomina addunyaa ishee jalqabaatiidha. In absence of Nile River, Egyptians could not survive. See, Egypt was a country that appropriately used Nile River. So, what Egypt is a gift of Nile? When you say Egypt is a gift of Nile, when you say, according to Herodotus, the surrounding area of Egypt was what? Surrounded by desert. So, Egyptians could not survive without Nile. So, in absence of Nile River, Egyptians could not survive. Because of this, Egyptians considered or called Egypt is a gift of Nile River, according to Herodotus. Question number 17. Who was the writer of Peloponnesian War, which from 1431 up to 1404 BC? Peloponnesian War, when you say, the war which fought between Athens and Sparta, kind of Greek, two capital cities of the two cities of not the capital, two cities of Greek fought each other at place called the war which is known as Peloponnesian War. So was the writer of this Peloponnesian War A. Leopold von Ranke. Leopold von Ranke means the father of modern historiography, who established history as independent academic discipline. B. Herodotus. Herodotus was a person called the father of history. Why is called the father of history? Because he defined history from this root word for the first time. So this person called father of modernism, father of history. Thucydides di Diopoludolf. Diopoludolf means the first writer of modern history of Ethiopia. Kind of a person called Greek historian Thucydides, the successor of Herodotus, wrote about the Peloponnesian War. Kind of Devin Kenya Sita. Question number 18. How Spartacus became the renowned human rights practitioner? A. He was Roman architect who constructed Temple of Colosseum. B. He was Roman citizen engaged in struggle for right of slaves. C. He was Roman slave that organized and led slave revolt against oppression. D. He was Roman citizen who crushed slave revolt for the right of Roman citizens. Kanaaf namni Spartacus jedhamu kun maaliin beekama? Seenaa keessatti this person was a Roman slave that organized and led slave revolt against the oppression. Kanaaf deebiin keenya si taasa kanaafisi. Kanaaf number 18 C. Question number 19. If you claim that large majority of Ethiopian people that they share a common origin, what is your historical ground to say so? Uummanni Itoophiyaa common origin yookiin immoo bakka maddi isaanii yookiin walitti dhufeenya qabu gaafa jennu maal gubbaa dhaabanneetidha. If you claim that large majority of Ethiopian people that say share a common right, what is your historical ground to say so? A. Islamic religion is dominant in southeastern parts of Ethiopia. The majority of Ethiopian peoples are followers of Orthodox Christianity. C. The majority of Ethiopian peoples share common proto-language. D. All Ethiopian people are civilized than neighboring South Sudan. So, when we say Ethiopians are originated from common origin, that means our evidence is, or historical evidence, that means the majority of Ethiopian people share common proto-language. Keessa Itoophiyaa keessatti afaanota lamatu dubbatama. Afaanota gurguddoo lama, Afro-Asiatic, Nilo-Sahara. Kanaaf warreen Itoophiyaa keessa jiran Semitic, Cushitic and Omotic share common proto-language. Again, the speakers of Nilotic language superfamily also shares common proto-language family. Kanaaf what makes the relation between Ethiopians from the common origin, that means the majority of Ethiopians people share common proto-language. Kanaaf deebiin keenya against ita. Question number 20. Which group of Ethiopian people affiliated to the Christian political palace for their blacksmith technology, irrespective of their religious and political ideologies? A. Agao people. B. Karaaf sibii yookiin immoo hojii sibiila hojjetan irraan kan ka'e gara mootummaa biratti kan beekaman warreen kamidha? Agao people. B. Ethiopian Jews. C. Jabarti merchants. D. Quraan's people. Kanaaf deebiinsaa kanaaf Itoophiyaan keessatti blacksmith kan beekaman ummata warra Beet Israa'el or Falasha people yookiin immoo Jewish warra jedhaman waan ta'eef deebiin keenya bitaa. Question number 21. How is the group of people of Kambata, Hadiyya, Sidama are more populous than a group of peoples of Somali, Afar and Sao? Kanaaf uummanni Kambata, Hadiyyaa fi Sidama warra Somali fi Afar if Sao caala akkamitti densely populous warra jennu yookiin immoo walitti siqanii jiraachuu kan danda'an maalidhaa fi a formal group, the formal group speak Cushitic while the latter group speaks Omotic. Lamaan isaaniiyyuu Cushitic dubbatu. B. The formal were developed in handicraft while the latter agriculture. Warri jalqaba dinagdeen isaanii handicraft dha. Warri garee lammaffaan immoo agriculture irratti bobba'uudha. No. The formal live in highland region while the latter group were lowlanders. D. Formal group were somewhat not indigenous in people in Ethiopia. Rakkiteen darbe waan ta'eef dhiifama. Kanaaf deebiin keenya Malta that indicate about settlement pattern dha kun. Kanaaf bakka qubannaa agarsiisuu barbaadeeti waan ta'eef kanaaf deebiin keenya sorry C ta'a. C. Because of this we can say these people more populous than Afar, Somalia and the South because they live in highland region of Ethiopia. This may indicate about settlement pattern in Ethiopian history. Question number 22. What is the international significance of Lallibala Church for current Ethiopian government? Keessa uummanni amantaa Lallibala yookiin immoo Reverend Rockwan Church Ethiopia keetti international significance of Lallibala Church maalidha? A. It is one of the UNESCO's cultural heritage. B. It is only architectural national pride for Ethiopian. C. It was the first architectural achievement for Ethiopia. D. It is important for Amara region to be recognized as special artisans. So international significance of Church of Lallibala mean this source of what tourist attraction in Ethiopia. Kanaaf touristoota kan argisu internationally UNESCO tti galmoo isaati waan ta'eef international significance of Lallibala Church for the current Ethiopian government. Kanaaf deebiin keenya eedha. Question number 23. Which of the following is correct about Omotic language of Ethiopia? You know about Omotic language in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, we have three important language superfamilies under Cushitic, that means Afroasiatic, spoken in Ethiopia, Cushitic, Semitic, and Omotic. Omotic means the language spoken around Omo River. So which of the following is correct about Omotic language of Ethiopia? A. It is only spoken around River Omo, not only spoken around the River Omo. We have two exceptional language, Shinasha and Anfilo, spoken out of Omo River, especially in Benishangul Gumuz and Wallagga regions. Kanaaf inni kun A kan falleessu Canada because from the Omotic language family, or we have two languages spoken far away from the Omo River. This language are Shinasha and Anfilo, or inni kun yeroo baay'ee Anfilo dhamee kan dubbatamu naannoo Wallaggaatti kan dubbatamudha. B. Shinasha is one of this language family. It is right. Some of this language are spoken in northern Kenya. That means what make unique Omotic language is spoken only in Ethiopia. We can't get the speakers of Omotic out of Ethiopia. Afaan Omotic kan adda taasisu namni afaan Omotic dubbatu Ethiopiaan alatti hin argamu. Kanaaf northern Kenyaatti hin dubbatamu waan ta'eef kun sirrii miti. It is originated from Nilo-Saharan language superfamily. No, it is originated from Afroasiatic language superfamily. Kanaaf deebii kanaatiif waan ta'u maanni Shinasha is one of its language family. Kanaaf afaan Shinasha afaan kan ilatti kan ramadamu waan ta'eef deebiin keenya bitaa. Question number 24. Which one of the following Germanic tribes that invaded England in the 5th century? Which one of the following Germanic tribes that invaded England in the 5th century? A. Ostrogoths. B. Visigoths. C. Huns. D. Saxons. Keessaa isaan kun A. Kan isaan qabatan naannoo Spainidha. Kanaaf warreen kan naannoo Itaalii qabatanii kan Englandii yookiin immoo Englandii kan qabate warra kamiidha? D dha. Kanaaf Saxons also invaded England. Kanaaf deebiin keenya D dha. The last question for this video. How Chinese people did know when their rulers lost mandate of heaven? You know, in China, dynastic cycle of China is based on mandate of heaven idhaan beekamu. How the Chinese people did know when the rulers lose mandate of heaven? Mandate of heaven gaafa isaan gadhiisuu isaanii maaliin beekamani? A. If the rulers aggressively conquered neighboring state, gaafa bulchitoonni isaanii naannoo kan immoo ollaa isaanii qabatan jedha. No. if neighboring state invaded China but defeated by Chinese peoples, ummanni wallaa isaanii dhufanii China qabatanii garuu immoo garraa Chinaatiin gaafa injifatamanidha jedha. No, if the drought, flood, earthquake, and internal revolt occurred, if the old dynasty regret for its past did to get pardon from China's people, kind of the Chinese now as their kings or rulers lost mandate of heaven when the drought, flood, earthquake, and internal revolt occurred. Kind of for China gafsan mootummaan kun mandate of heaven yookiin immoo fudhatamuu isaas maal ta'edha irraa fidhanii yaadu waan ta'eef deebiin keenya sii ta'a. Kanaaf moodeela kutaa 12ffaa paartii 1 kana fakkaata. Yeroo ta'an immoo paartiiwwan 2, 3, 4 isin qabadhee dhiyaadha waan ta'eef viidiyoon kun yeroo keessan bira akka ga'uuf YouTube yaamba subscribe warreen goone subscribe godha, share comment gochuun dagatina. Galatooma.